Personal responsibility is an important trait to develop. To ward off COVID-19 requires a personal choice to do the right thing and follow the protocols. Now that we are in the Atlantic hurricane season, it's necessary that we also make the personal choice to prepare before it's too late by stocking up on food, water and other supplies. And we're so glad you made that personal choice to be with us today. I'm Adrian Atkinson and this is Jamaica Magazine with the information to improve your life. Stay with us.
Want to know the law pertaining to renting a house? What about the procedure if you're arrested? Or what is defined as corruption? Then click on the Ministry of Justice website. It has information on every law passed in Jamaica. The House of Parliament portal also has the more recent year's pieces of legislation. The sites are easy to search and the files are downloadable. Make access to justice your business. Know your rights. Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, June 22. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration is intent on sparking a housing revolution on the island. Part of that push is the state's build-out of 70,000 housing units over a 5-year period. Mr. Holness says the units will have varying prices from $3 million to $25 million. The Prime Minister says plans are also in motion to allocate suitable lands from the island's land bank for housing and urban development.
We're going to dedicate a certain number of acres of land. And we're going to invite developers to develop those lands. But the cost of the land will not be in the price of the house. So when you purchase your house, you're not going to be paying for the land. Government will effectively put the land into the development.
Prime Minister Holness was addressing Friday's handover ceremony of a 3-bedroom dwelling at Pedro District in St. Catherine. The house is the latest unit to be delivered under the National Social Housing Initiative being administered by the HOPE program. Mr. Holness says housing projects are also planned for Innswood and Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine, as well as areas in St. Thomas, Westmoreland, Clarendon, Hanover and Trelawney.
We are going to create a housing revolution in Jamaica. That if you want a house, you have the option of getting a house for a reasonable cost. So you do not need to go and squat on lands or create illegal settlements anymore.
Sections of Kingston Central are now under a 3-day curfew effective 7 p.m. June 21 to 7 p.m. June 23. The notification was posted by the Jamaica Constabulary Force last evening. The boundaries run north along East Queen Street from the intersection with Hanover Street to the intersection with South Camp Road. To the east, it also includes South Camp Road from the intersection of East Queen Street to the intersection with Water Lane. Along the south, the boundary is at Water Lane from the intersection with South Camp Road to the intersection with Hanover Street. And the westward boundary runs along Hanover Street from the intersection with Water Lane to the intersection with East Queen Street. Speaking at a press briefing prior to the curfew, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said communities in Kingston Central were also targeted for zones of special operation, ZOSO.
The zones of special operation should be considered as a long-term peace building and community development tool. We now have 5 zones of special operations. We have targeted 20 communities, of which communities in central Kingston are included.
With the anti-gang bill getting the approval of the Senate on Friday, the process of it becoming law is now closer to reality. The bill is officially called the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Amendment Act 2021. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, says the bill is being strengthened to increase convictions and to significantly disrupt gangs and criminal organizations in Jamaica.
This is in many ways a culmination at least of a phase of over 10 years of policy and legislative work that has spanned us being on both sides of the aisle. And both parties, when in power, have seen the importance of this legislation. It's important that we conduct regular reviews of this legislation so that we can ensure that the legislation evolves and changes and gives the security forces the tools they need for an ever-evolving crime situation.
Section 21 of the bill stipulates that the Act shall be reviewed by a joint select committee no later than 3 years after the date of its commencement. The changes specify additional offences for activities in which criminal organizations are engaged, as well as an increase in the number of offences under the Act. It also expands the list of aggravating factors to be considered when sentencing an individual convicted of certain offences under the Act and improves the trial procedures in order to protect the identity of witnesses. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is calling for the nation to return to civility, where women, children and the elderly are protected. Dr. Chang was touring the Domestic Violence Intervention Center (DVIC) at the Matilda's Corner Police Station in St. Andrew on Friday. He says establishing these centers at police stations is an indication of the ministry's commitment to tackling domestic violence and intra-family violence. He points out that 58 cases of domestic violence were referred to the DVIC between January to May of this year, 5 of which were walk-ins. 104 cases were referred in 2020.
I think the center at Matilda's Corner reflects the kind of direction the police is moving in, and the government's policy will give support to the activities there.
4 domestic violence intervention centers are currently in operation. Another 6 should be added by the end of this year through partnership with the United Nations Development Program at a cost of $130,000. Approximately 350 students attending tertiary institutions across Jamaica will receive the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission BJLC Tertiary Education Grant for the 2021-2022 academic year. Application is now open via bjlc.gov.jm and closes on July 16. Manager for Corporate Affairs and Communication, Jeanette Lewis, says the grants are available to full-time undergrad students who are 26 years and younger with a grade point average of at least 2.75.
The grant is to aid with tuition, and the amount is $50,000 per student. And basically, it's a process of an online application, and that application includes submission of a writing assignment, and we evaluate the applicants, and this year we're choosing 350 students to disperse the grant to.
Ms. Lewis was speaking on a recent JIS Get the Facts program. She says persons can receive assistance via WhatsApp message at 876-224-2452, direct message via Instagram at BJLCJA, emailing info@bjlc.gov.jm, or calling 876-630-1353. And finally, Jamaicans now have an all-in-one application for transport, delivery, shopping and mobile money needs. It's thanks to Thursday's launch of the new Red Plate Transport Driver app. Once subscribed, each driver or vehicle will be fitted with one Red Plate smartphone with a 24-hour data and call plan. Persons in the transport sector will also be able to receive payment for their services in cash or by way of debit and credit cards. Transport Minister Robert Montague has endorsed the app, which he says will help the sector transform into a dynamic industry. App provider Red Plate Technologies Jamaica is a subsidiary of the Red Plate Group, a Caribbean-based multimodal logistics and transportation service provider. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
It just makes sense that while we make hay as the sun shines, we should also save for the rainy days, because even as we all strive to rule our own destiny, life holds some inevitable and unexpected outcomes for which we should be as prepared as possible. Get the help you need now through the National Insurance Scheme. The NIS offers financial security when it's most needed to all gainfully employed or self-employed persons who contribute to this scheme. Whether it's loss of income due to injury on the job, sickness, retirement, and/or death of a breadwinner, there will be help waiting for you and your family. So if you are over 18 years of age and working, visit your nearest Ministry of Labour and Social Security parish office and get registered under the NIS. Start making your contributions in order to reap the numerous social protection benefits when that rainy day occurs. Email prunit@mlss.gov.jm or call 876-922-8000 to 13 for more information.
Coming up, the latest happenings at the office of the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister declares Norwood St. James as the latest zone of special operations, joins the My Tree Legacy initiative, and
support from our diaspora has been a critical lifeline for our country during the pandemic.
You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Simone Wolf.
The ZOSO will target this area and will bring some peace to the community, but it will give an opportunity for that community to turn a new leaf.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday as he declared a zone of special operations, ZOSO, for the Norwood community in St. James. Mr. Holness says the declaration follows an analysis of the community, which reveals that Norwood continues to be impacted by violence.
Since the beginning of the year, 15 murders and 14 shootings have occurred. Since 2019, within that community, there has been recorded 66 murders. But more disturbingly, there are 6 gangs known to be operating within that very small space. And those gangs, though they are based in that area, operate all over St. James.
Last week, the Prime Minister was in St. Catherine for several developments. On Friday, Mr. Holness was at his alma mater, St. Catherine High School, to break ground for a new performing arts center.
I am not supporting this performing arts center for fun or for entertainment. This is about Jamaica's growth and development. This is about business. That is what it is about. We must create the talent pool that creates the content that the world will pay for. We have it right here.
The ground floor of the complex is to be completed by December. It will have a stage area with lighting and sound, a multipurpose seating area for 850 people, dressing rooms and restrooms. Prime Minister Holness used his visit to St. Catherine High School to participate in the My Tree Legacy program. A forestry department initiative, the program involves past students planting trees at their alma maters. It supports the National Tree Planting Initiative, which seeks to plant 3 million trees in 3 years.
It is not just because it sounds like a very nice thing to do to plant trees. It is a very real strategic response in being a responsible government, a responsible nation, a caring nation about our planet and our atmosphere and our climate and our environment, to plant trees. 3 million trees in Jamaica is clearly not enough, but it is what our capacity presently allows.
Still in St. Catherine Friday, Mr. Holness journeyed to Pedro District to deliver the latest social housing unit to a mother of 3. The 3-bedroom dwelling was delivered under the housing component of the HOPE program.
We know, we see, we hear, and we care. And as fast as we can, we have allocated $500 million to this program. And next year, we will make a similar, if not larger, allocation. So if it is that we have 2,000 or 3,000 such situations in Jamaica, I want those persons to know that there is a program, and little by little, we will reach it.
And the Prime Minister closed out his visit to St. Catherine by distributing electronic learning devices and a printer to schools in the parish. 14 schools benefited from the donation, which was done through Mr. Holness's Positive Jamaica Foundation. So far, the foundation has distributed over 250 tablets and computers.
The students who we are giving are those students who would not have been covered by PATH and not have been covered by the Own Your Own Device program. So we are intent on reaching every single child who cannot afford a device through their own means. So our little mickle is making a muckle.
Before that, the Prime Minister was in Trelawney Thursday for the installation of Hugh Gentles as the new custos of the parish. Mr. Holness urged public servants to carry out civic affairs with dignity.
We must be efficient and effective. There must be accountability. But we must also administer our affairs in such a way that we elevate our people. that our administration of public affairs reflects the values of our society, that speaks to our civility.
At Wednesday's start of the two-day virtual Jamaica Diaspora Sustainability Symposium, Prime Minister Andrew Holness lauded Jamaicans abroad for their sterling contribution to the country's economic and social development. He says that in the face of the pandemic, the 70% increase in remittance inflows have allowed Jamaica to maintain its balance of payment and its net international reserves.
Beyond sending remittances, the diaspora continues to promote trade and foreign direct investment, spur entrepreneurship, create new businesses, and transfer knowledge and skills.
The Prime Minister also commended the 6 Jamaicans who were presented with the Governor-General's Diaspora Award for Excellence for their significant support to the fight against COVID-19. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Yo, this is We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM. A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
From constructing indigent houses to building communities, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has unveiled a slew of projects for this parliamentary year. Take a look.
We continue to work on infrastructure development, institutional strengthening. This year, the staff and the system of the infirmary care system was put to test by COVID-19. And I want to specially commend our workers across the country for the level of professionalism that they continue to show. A new kitchen will be built at the Anova Infirmary at a cost of $12 million. Renovation work will take place at the George Abrams Home in Augustown in Eastern St. Andrew at a cost of $6 million, Madam Speaker. Some $18 million will be spent to renovate the Denham Town Golden Age Home. Over $25 million will be spent on building new night shelters in Falmouth, in Trelawney, and in Ocherius, in St. Ann. Additionally, we will continue the installation of CCTV systems across the infirmaries. New therapeutic park, which we started 2 years ago, will continue, one in St. Catherine and one in St. Mary at a cost of $4.4 million. The construction has started on the special facility for the homeless here in the corporate area. The work will cost $30 million, and it is projected to be completed in August of this year, and it is going to be completed on time and within the budget that was allocated by the ministry, Madam Speaker. We will be breaking grounds to provide more black and steel indigent housing for members of the vulnerable population. In this financial year, we will be building houses in West Central St. Andrew, Southwest St. Andrew, Eastern Westmoreland, Western Westmoreland, Northwest St. James, South St. James, Central St. Mary, Southeast St. Mary, and Central Kingston. The scope of the activities and the level of investment and the physical accommodation for the homeless has no comparison. We started a special feeding program in March 2020 in all the parishes. Again, the government provided $100 million. This program will continue, and it is structured towards the provisions of meals for the homeless population across the country on a daily basis. The acquisition of new equipment will enter a new technological dimension. The Fire Brigade will launch an unmanned aerial vehicle program. Under this program, they will purchase 2 drones. The purchase of these 2 new drones will assist the surveillance and search and rescue exercise, as well as fire and other emergency. The conclusion of the construction of the 3 new stations, which should have been completed some time ago. But I'm pleased to advise the House that the Barnett Street station that is being built at a cost of $335 million will be completed in July of this year. Yalas, being built at $113 million, will be completed in June, Madam Speaker. And the same for the Port Maria, which cost $217, that is set to be completed in July of this year, Madam Speaker. Over in St. Catherine, a brand new fire station is being built, Madam Speaker, at a cost of $59.7 million, Madam Speaker. I am pleased to announce after many years, Papine will now see the dream of a fire station. A major step has been taken. The University of the West Indies has formally agreed to allow sections of its property to be used to base a fire station. The lands have been identified, Madam Speaker, and the paperwork has commenced. And in short order, I will be announcing, Madam Speaker, the construction of a brand new fire station in the corporate area in Papine in St. Andrew, Madam Speaker. And not to leave you out, South Trelawney, Ulster Spring, lands have been located, and the paperwork has commenced, Madam Speaker, for the construction of a fire station. Rural water is a new addition to the ministry. This year, the government will provide some $215 million to be spent to complete other projects that will benefit 20,000 additional people across the parishes of St. Catherine, St. Anne, Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, Portland, St. James. The Ministry of Local Government will also set aside an additional $110 million to construct water shops so that the parishes, Madam Speaker, that will benefit from these water shops will fall under the local rural development program. A total, Madam Speaker, of some $325 million will be provided for rural communities across the country. The ministry will be financing an island-wide rural electrification program to the tune of $189 million, which is being implemented by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, who has been working closely with the program, and we want to continue that partnership, Madam Program. The program is designed to facilitate communities who want to be legally connected to the electricity grid, but who are not able to find the money to wire and to certify their own. We will increase the numbers to 6,000 young people, Madam Speaker, paying them for 1 month, which commenced in August at 40,000 Jamaican dollars, Madam Speaker. We are going to be dedicating a little bit more money for roads. Some $350 million will be spent on roads across the country through the local authority. I want to announce the Rural Development Program, which will be headed, as I said, under the portfolio responsibility of Minister Davis, where we will be spending some $650 million to develop communities in various parts of the island. The program will be piloted in Chambers Pen in Western Hanover, Madam Speaker, and will cover Cheesefield in St. Catherine, Cheswick in Western St. Thomas, Lawrence Tavern in West Rural St. Andrew, and also in Southwest Clarendon, Madam Speaker. The program will include, Madam Speaker, the installation of water, electricity, internet access, roads, sidewalks, community park, indigent housing. We will use this program to give new life to rural communities over the next 2 years, Madam Speaker. Let me emphasize that this program will create temporary and permanent employment opportunity. It is a story about people and the system of local government who continue to effectively manage the public health protocols, lay the foundation for economic and social recovery at the community level. It is a story about how local government is helping central government to ensure that Jamaica is turning the corner and recovering stronger from this pandemic.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
You've reached the final page of the magazine. Thanks so much for being with us on today's journey. Another Jamaica Magazine unfolds tomorrow, so come back same time on the same station. Until then, go to our website, YouTube channel and social media pages for more informative features. While there, please subscribe to our pages and channels so you can stay in the know. I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you that we're in the hurricane season, so prepare before it's too late.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.